Okay, my name's Dr. Jav. I'm a Forex and cryptocurrency trader. I hope you can hear me. I think my microphone is definitely working. I'm using a different system to what I normally use. So if there's any issues during the presentation, please drop me a message in the chat box. So I'm going to try and keep this presentation down to around 30 minutes or so. And I'll go over various things. And I want to make it absolutely clear from the outset that by the end of this presentation, you will not become an expert on trading. And as long as you're clear about that, we can continue. This is only meant to be an introduction to trading. And what I'm going to cover is the basics of Forex and cryptocurrency. I'll talk a little bit about myself and my involvement in the currency markets. I'll cover some basics and also show you our system and how you can learn and earn for potentially free. So what is Forex? If you've ever been to a foreign country, say the USA from the UK, and changed your pounds for your dollars, then you would have taken part in the foreign exchange market. Now, I don't know if you've ever noticed this. If you go back to the same exchange again at a later date or a later time, you may be presented with a different exchange rate. It's this difference in exchange rates that we as traders use to profit from. As long as there's volatility in the market, and there has been volatility in the market since the outset of banks, since the beginning of time, as long as there's volatility in the market, we can use that volatility to profit from. Now, what I want to make absolutely clear is that exchange rates are continuously changing, and this is due to things like market participants constantly buying and selling currency. And as I stated before, this volatility in the markets has existed since the beginning of time. And as long as there's movement in the prices, we can profit from this volatility. Now, the amazing thing about Forex trading is that you can buy low and sell high, or sell high and buy low, which basically means that it doesn't matter if the market is going up or if it's coming down, you can profit regardless. Now, I want to make it absolutely clear that we make money by following trends and getting ahead of them. We do not gamble or try to predict the market. So we do our own technical analysis and also look at fundamentals to determine what's going to happen in the price of any particular currency pair at any particular time. Now, one of the reasons that I trade Forex is because it's the biggest market in the world, and the highest ever exchange in Forex was actually $6.6 trillion. And whether you know this or not, your bank is doing Forex with your money. So obviously being a bank is the best business that you can have, and because they're not even using their own money to do Forex with. They use your money. So whatever you have in your bank accounts, your bank is using a good percentage of that money to trade with, and they're making over $1 trillion every single day from your money. And generally what happens is when you're asleep at night, your bank will use your money, and then when the bank's open in the morning, they need to return that liquidity to the market, and henceforth they exit from their trades. Now, people like you and me are termed retail investors, and we make up to 20% of the market, and this number is increasing steadily as we move forward. The other good thing about trading is that historically, you would have needed $1 million to place a trade. However, today, you can start with as little as £200. A little bit about cryptocurrency. Now, cryptocurrency is a digital or virtual currency designed to act as a medium of exchange. Now, I often draw alliances between cryptocurrency and PayPal because a lot of people are familiar with PayPal. Now, with PayPal, you can send money to anyone, anywhere in the world, just by having access to their email address. Cryptocurrency is a tiny bit similar in the sense that all you need is a unique identifier for the recipient of the money. And if you install an e-wallet on your mobile phone, which is basically an app that takes 30 seconds to download, you are able to send money, Bitcoin, to anyone, anywhere in the world. The major difference between Bitcoin and, say, PayPal is that there's no third-party involvement whatsoever. Now, in the case of PayPal, obviously you need the involvement of a bank, which is a third party. However, in the case of cryptocurrency, you do not need any involvement from any bank whatsoever. cryptocurrency is purely peer-to-peer. You can send money to anyone, anywhere in the world, whoever you like, and there's no involvement of a bank, which potentially means that cryptocurrency cannot be shut down regardless of what you see in the marketplace. A little bit about myself. I've been always told to work hard, go to school, get good grades, go to university, and get a good job. And that's what I did for a long time, certainly when I was a lot younger than today. So I actually went to university for 8 years because my parents instilled in me that an education, a good education, was the way forward. And so I went to university. I got a PhD and also MBA from one of the top schools in the UK. I used to work in the City of London as a consultant, earning 6 figures or close to 6 figures a year. However, I was paying a lot of tax and effectively leading a mediocre life because I was working up to 80 hours every single week. And that's when I decided that maybe working for a living, working in a job wasn't the right thing to do. So I actually started my businesses while I was a student. And if I quickly push forward to today, I've been in business now for over 2 decades. This is my 3rd decade in business. I've written business books, and also I speak at universities and conferences all over the world. I've mentored people in around 25 countries, and I've been actively involved in the currency markets for well over 3 years. I've been a miner in the past, so I used to mine Bitcoins and also trade cryptocurrency and also obviously Forex as well. Now, I firmly believe that you will be presented with at least one life-changing opportunity every decade of your life. And I've seen 3 such opportunities in my life as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. Now, my first decade of opportunity was actually in the 90s. And that's when I was buying up properties all over the place. And in fact, had a portfolio worth several £1,000,000. Now, what I've noticed about property investment was, certainly my property investments, was that the average yield that I was obtaining was in the region of 8 to 12% per property. So my average returns for my properties was anywhere between 8 to 12%. Now, the deposit I generally put down on any one property was anywhere from £10,000 to £50,000. Now, I understand it is possible to buy property no money down. However, with property, things tend to go wrong. For example, tenants might not pay you rent for a few months. Your roof might start leaking. Your boilers might go. And certainly in my case, I remember 3 of my properties, the boiler went in all 3 properties within the space of 3 or 4 months. So I was looking at an outlay of about £9,000. And these things happen with properties, and certainly when you have a decent property portfolio. Now, if I compare that to trading, especially Forex trading, in the case of Forex trading, you can make 8 to 12% in a day. You can make 8 to 12% in a week if you know what you're doing. In the case of putting down a deposit, putting money into your broker's account, you can start with as little as around £200. So the route to market is much easier for trading than it is for property. And certainly a lot of people I know who are very, very successful traders are now reinvesting their profits from trading into property. My second decade of opportunity was the dot-com cycle. So in the noughties, I was quite a popular internet marketer. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because internet marketing allowed me to transact from anywhere in the world. So I could be sitting on the beach in Dubai and making money from nothing more than a smartphone. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I can draw alliances between internet marketing and also with trading. With Forex trading, cryptocurrency trading, you can actually trade from anywhere in the world. And all you need is access to a smartphone. Now, at this stage, I just briefly want to talk about cryptocurrency, in particular Bitcoin, which is my favorite cryptocurrency. Now, at the moment, there are in the region of 2,500 cryptocurrencies in the market. So there's a lot of cryptocurrencies out there. Bitcoin is the largest cryptocurrency. It's been around since 2009. So if you look at this graph on the left-hand side, this is actually maps out the price of Bitcoin since 2009. Now I'm going to try and annotate on the screen so you can see where I'm pointing to. So if I draw an arrow here, in December 2017, the price of one Bitcoin was around, excuse my writing, it's terrible, was around $20,000. So in December 2019, one Bitcoin was about $20,000. In 2009, when Bitcoin was conceived, one Bitcoin was around 10 cents. Many people that I know who bought Bitcoin when the price was relatively low, anywhere from 10 cents to around $1,000, and sold out at the ATH, which is the all-time high, became instant millionaires. And all they did was hold on to Bitcoin. And it didn't take much intellectual capacity to do that. All they had to do was buy Bitcoin, hold on to it for a few years, and then sell it when the price was very, very high. Now, at the moment, today, when I check, the price of one Bitcoin at the moment is around $7,000, give and take, depending on which exchange you're looking at. Now, the price of Bitcoin today is classed as very, very low. And the reason I'm saying this to you is because we have something known as Bitcoin halving coming. Bitcoin halving is going to occur in the beginning of next year. So March 2020, we're going to have Bitcoin halving, when the supply of Bitcoin is going to halve. At the moment, 12.5 Bitcoins are produced every 10 minutes. When Bitcoin halving occurs, that number is going to jump down to 6.25. Historically, whenever that has happened, whenever the supply of Bitcoin has been stifled, the price of Bitcoin has shot through the roof. So if I just show you again, when we had this price increase, this was actually December 2017, and in 2016, Bitcoin halving occurred. So since Bitcoin halving occurred, and for around a year after, the price of Bitcoin basically shot through the roof. We are expecting, based on our analysis, based on supply and demand economics, we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to hit around $200,000 3 years from today. So I'll say that again, we're expecting Bitcoin to be at a price of around $200,000 to $300,000 around 3 years from today. And that is based on not just Bitcoin halving, but also the fact of supply and demand, and also what's happening in the marketplace outside. So Bitcoin is still classed as a very, very good buy. We're expecting the price to shoot up. Now, what we do as a team of traders is that we don't just buy Bitcoin and hold it. Obviously, that is one strategy. We also trade Bitcoin. So if you were to buy one Bitcoin today, 3 years from today, your one Bitcoin could be worth 3 to 5 Bitcoin, depending on how good a trader you are. Now, the best way to trade is to compound your profit. So slowly, your one Bitcoin will become 1.5 Bitcoins, 2 Bitcoins, and eventually 3, 4, 5 Bitcoins. Now, if you were to use the same calculation I showed you before, expecting Bitcoin to hit around $200,000 3 years from today, just imagine if you traded your one Bitcoin over time, and this Bitcoin was now 3 Bitcoins 3 years from today. You've now made almost, or in the region of £500,000, just by applying some simple trading concepts that we teach you. So you can very, very quickly see how profitable cryptocurrency can be. And Bitcoin is just one of over 2,000 cryptocurrencies. I also personally trade Ethereum as well, and Ripple, and a few other currencies. Now, at this stage, I'd like to present you with a quick income disclaimer. Any earnings and income statements made by our company are basically estimates of what we think you can possibly earn. What I've noticed about business is that the more you put in, the more you will get out. If you treat trading as a business, you can do extremely well from trading. In fact, it can quite easily replace any full-time job. Now, the most common currencies traded are the ones I've listed here. Now, in my particular case, I tend to trade primarily the GBP, Great British Pound, the Euro, and the US dollar. Now, my advice to anyone starting out in trading is to not trade the hundreds of currencies in the market. It's in fact impossible to learn how to trade hundreds of currencies. My advice to any new trader would be to pick 3 to 5 currency pairs and to study those and to become very good at trading those currency pairs. Now, also, some advice I give to new traders is to keep a trading journal, and this keeps a track of behavior and also allows you over a period of time to become a better and better trader. The amazing thing about Forex trading is that you can trade Forex 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. So that's Monday to Friday, 24 hours a day. There's a bit of overlap on Saturday and Sunday when the markets open and close, but generally 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. In the case of cryptocurrency, you can trade cryptocurrency 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So cryptocurrency is non-stop trading. Now, I'm a full-time trader. However, that doesn't mean that I'm trading for 8 hours a day. In fact, I don't trade for more than half an hour on a lot of days, or an hour a day in a lot of cases. And once you know and you've learned how to trade, again, half an hour to 1 hour a day, if even that, and you can derive a very, very good living on the back of that. In fact, we have one strategy where you only need to look at the markets for 5 minutes a day in the morning and place your trades on the back of that. So trading, once you know how to do it, can be an extremely profitable and rewarding vocation for anyone, regardless of what job you do. If you've ever studied the markets, you would have come across the terms bull and bear market. Now, a bull market is when you expect the currency value to go up, and a bear market is when you expect the currency values to come down. When the market's going up, you place what we call a buy order, or you go long. When the market is coming down, you place what we call a sell order, or you go short. So it does not matter to us as traders if the market is going up or if the market is coming down. We can derive a profit regardless of what the market is going to do, and that's by doing our technical analysis and basically looking for uptrends and downtrends in the marketplace. The amazing thing is that we actually have access to software known as the harmonic scanner, which uses harmonic patterns that helps us to map out whether we are going to enter an uptrend or downtrend in the marketplace. Now, once we know if we're entering an uptrend or downtrend, we can henceforth place our buys and sells in the market, and on the back of that, we can determine when to pull out of any particular trade. The harmonic scanner is actually 80% profitable, so extremely good in the marketplace. Excuse me. Now, when we're measuring profit in trading, we have a term known as pips. So pips is basically profit in trading, and we gain or lose pips for every single trade that we place. Now, on average, we're making in the region of, let's say, 1,000 pips every single week. And if you want to work out what 1,000 pips are, you need to look at something called lot size. And lot size is your risk in the marketplace. So again, if you look at this table over here, if you were to have, say, £1,000 or dollars in your trader's account, we would recommend you use a lot size of 0.2. Obviously, you can use a higher number or a lower number if you want to be more risk averse. Now, for £1,000 in your broker's account and a 0.2 lot size, you're actually making £2 a pip. So if you're making 1,000 pips every single week or thereabouts, you're making around £2 a week, which is not a bad income to have for an hour a day of trading. Now, obviously, if you have a bigger account, you can leverage up. So if you were to say have £10,000 in your broker's account, we'd recommend you use a lot size of 2. And for a lot size of 2, you would be making $20 or £20 a pip. And at £20 a pip and 1,000 pips a week, you're making 20 grand a week. So you can very, very quickly see how encouraging and how profitable Forex can potentially be. We also have a system of leverage, which allows you to basically leverage up your broker's, whatever balance you have in your broker's account, and use leverage funds from your broker to trade accordingly. And generally, if you were to have a 1 to 500 leverage, this means that for every pound or dollar in your account, your broker allows you to leverage £500, which means £1,000 in your account will be leveraged up to £500,000, which in effect allows you to obtain a bigger profit and also a loss if you were to make a loss on any of that particular trade. Now, if you were to go online today and search Bitcoin and also Forex, in many cases, you will be presented with these things being Ponzi and pyramid schemes. Now, the reason for this is because banks, large corporations, and the government need you to remain a slave to the system. So when I say slave to the system, I basically mean in a job. They need people to be in jobs. A job is effectively just on broke. 95% of the world population of 7 billion plus people will die broke. 5% of the world population make more money than 95% of the population. And the government need you, that ratio to continue going forward. However, you need to be in the 5% if you want to be financially free. If you're working in a job, unfortunately, you're already in a pyramid scheme because the market at the bottom is extremely crowded. Where you need to be is either the CEO or the president, or in fact, better still, be in a business for yourself where you can set your own hours and effectively earn a much better living than you were to earn in a job or job. Now, what we offer you is our educational platform. We actually teach you and show you how to trade the markets. And we have access to an online program with hundreds of videos where we go through the trading basics all the way up to deep technical analysis, showing you how to trade the markets at any particular time. We also give you mentorship, where you can sit down with mentors on a daily basis, where mentors are actually placing live trades. Now, our mentors are earning between 6 to 7 plus figures every single year from trading. So over £1 million or dollars generally from trading. So you're in good hands. And we actually place the same trades as our mentors. And you can see some of the mentors here on this slide, but generally we have some very, very good mentors. And the way I learned trading was by sitting down with my mentors and placing the same trades as them. And over a period of time, because trading is a skill set, once you watch it over and over again, a particular trade, after a period of time, you will know how to trade yourself. After a little bit of practice, you will learn how to trade. And we've been able to do this through our live sessions. Now, if you can't make the live sessions, a lot of these sessions are also recorded, so you can go back to them and revise what you've seen in the first place or didn't see in the first place. So it's a very, very good system. We have 130,000 plus traders in, I think it's 120 plus countries all over the world. And a lot of them are doing extremely well from this system. You also get access to our software, which basically gives you entry points on any particular trade. It presents you with stop losses and also take profit figures, which basically means that your trades are automated. You also get access to several apps that sit on your phone. So Swipe Trades is an app which gives you trading ideas. So we actually give you trading signals or trading ideas which tell you which trades to take at any particular time. You put the 3 numbers into an app on your phone. It takes around 30 seconds and the trade is placed for you. Now, the same is the case for Forex and also for cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on. And also we trade commodities like gold, oil and gas, and we also trade indices like US 30 and GER 30 as well. So we have several apps that allow you to become, over a period of time, an independent trader. Now, obviously, when you first join the program, you will not know how to trade. And this is where we actually show you how to trade. And when I talked about signals before, we give you a stop loss number and a take profit number. So these numbers we give you, we tell you what trade to take, the type of trade, and also whether to buy or sell that particular trade. Now, all you have to do is copy those numbers into an app on your phone. So on the right hand side, we've got the app that sits on your phone, and you copy the SL number into the stop loss section, which goes over here, and you copy the TP number into the take profit section. You will then press sell or buy depending on the information we give you. This process takes you 30 or so seconds. And once you've done that, your trade is placed for you and will be executed automatically, which means that once you've hit a profit, your trade will jump out of that trade automatically, so the job is done for you. Now, obviously, signals are good in the beginning, but over a period of time, you will also learn to trade through our system of online education, through the mentorship, the live mentorship, and also we have live sessions all over the country. Yesterday we were in Birmingham showing our students how to trade. The week before we were in London, and also up north we have many sessions as well, places like Manchester, Newcastle, Bradford, and also in Ireland as well. And now we're teaching people to trade in Scotland too. So we've been around for 6+ years. And like I said before, we have many students who are now doing extremely well from trading. In fact, we have many students who have now left their full-time jobs and actually trade for a living full-time. Now, if you were to go online and search Forex trading courses, you will see that most trading courses on average cost around £5,000. So trading is actually an expensive business, and the trainers know this and they charge their students accordingly. Now, if you were to get Forex signals, decent Forex signals from any training provider, you'd be looking at a price from around £150 to £500 a month. Now, I've written these prices down based on my own analysis and market research. I know many students who have been to these weekend courses having paid anywhere from £3,000 to £5,000, and to be then upsold a mentorship program of around £20,000. And what we offer you is everything I've talked about at a much more manageable cost. In fact, we only charge $225 for you to get started. So it's about £170, £180, depending on the exchange rate, but it's a much more manageable cost compared to the £5,000 you would pay elsewhere to learn how to trade. Now, there is a monthly cost as well. However, because we have a scholarship scheme known as 2 for Free, once you recommend 2 people and they also join our trading program, decide to trade with us, as long as they are active, you will pay nothing else. So you've basically learned how to trade in a $5.3 trillion industry for nothing more than about $225. Now, like I said before, I've been trading now for a very long time. I know the market, and the education that we provide is the best in the marketplace. We don't just provide you with online education. We also hold your hand through phone calls, through Zoom calls, very much like this, through one-to-one meetings, and also group discussions in person all over the country to ensure that you become a very good trader. We have many students, not just the UK, but all over the world. We have single mothers, we have teachers, we have all professions, a lot of nurses and doctors, and also obviously people that have lost their job or become redundant recently. So when it comes to age, our traders range from around 18 years old to 70 years plus. So age is not a number when it comes to trading. We have a system that's been working now for 6 years, and going forward, we've got many more products coming into the marketplace, and we can show you those and teach you how to trade. Now, like I said before, I wanted to keep this presentation nice and short, to about 30 minutes or so. I'm coming towards the end of this presentation now, and I hope you learned something. Obviously, this is only meant to be a beginner's guide to trading. We do have more technical trading meetings very similar to this today. In fact, we've got one at 9 o'clock, which goes into deep technical analysis and will show you how to trade. If any of you want access to that meeting, please drop me a message on my number here, and this number here, which is a WhatsApp number, and either myself or one of my team can send you a link for that trading. Otherwise, please speak to the person who invited you to this presentation, or get in contact with me with any questions that you've got, and we can get you registered very quickly. It takes about 10 minutes to get registered, and you can effectively start trading from today. My name is Dr. Jav. Thank you for listening to me, and hopefully I'll see you soon.